Welcome to Ask Prep, your trusted companion for NEET and JEE preparation. Today we will study about a very important topic of biology, which is ecosystem, components, energy flow, pyramids. Let us start by understanding what an ecosystem actually is. An ecosystem is a self-sustaining unit that includes both living and non-living components interacting with each other in a specific area. Whether it is a dense forest, a freshwater pond, a grassland, or even a desert, every natural area that supports life can be called an ecosystem. In simple terms, an ecosystem is nature's way of maintaining balance among organisms and their environment. It shows us how energy flows, how nutrients cycle, and how organisms depend on one another for survival. In any ecosystem, there are two main components. The biotic components include all the living organisms like plants, animals, microorganisms, fungi, and so on. They can be further categorized based on their roles. Producers are organisms like green plants and algae that prepare their own food using sunlight through photosynthesis. Consumers are animals that depend directly or indirectly on producers for their food. Herbivores eat plants, carnivores eat other animals, omnivores eat both plants and animals, and decomposers like bacteria and fungi break down dead organisms and recycle nutrients back into the environment. The abiotic components include all the non-living things like sunlight, water, air, minerals, and temperature. These factors determine the types of organisms that can survive in a particular ecosystem. The ecosystem functions through two basic processes: energy flow and nutrient cycling. The flow of energy in an ecosystem is unidirectional, meaning it moves in one direction from the sun to producers and then to consumers and decomposers. The sun is the ultimate source of energy for all ecosystems. Plants capture solar energy and convert it into chemical energy in the form of food. This stored energy is passed on when herbivores eat the plants, and then to carnivores when they eat the herbivores. But during each transfer, a major part of the energy is lost as heat to the surroundings. Only a small portion of energy, usually around 10%, is passed on to the next trophic level. This is why energy flow in an ecosystem is said to be inefficient, and it limits the number of trophic levels in a food chain. A food chain is a linear sequence of organisms through which energy flows. For example, grass is eaten by a grasshopper, the grasshopper is eaten by a frog is eaten by a snake, and the snake is eaten by an eagle. This is a simple food chain. But in reality, ecosystems are more complex. Most organisms feed on multiple sources, forming a network of interconnected food chains called a food web. This food web makes the ecosystem more stable because if one source is removed, organisms can switch to another. In an ecosystem, the structure of energy flow and organism relationships can be represented using ecological pyramids. There are three types of pyramids: pyramid of numbers, pyramid of biomass, and pyramid of energy. The pyramid of numbers shows the number of individuals at each trophic level. For example, in a grassland, there are many grasses, fewer herbivores like rabbits, and even fewer carnivores like foxes. This forms an upright pyramid. However, in some cases like a tree ecosystem, one tree supports many herbivores like insects, which may in turn support fewer predators, resulting in an inverted pyramid. The pyramid of biomass shows the total dry weight of all organisms at each level. In terrestrial ecosystems, this is usually upright, with large biomass in producers and less in carnivores. But in aquatic ecosystems, it can be inverted because the biomass of phytoplankton, though small at any given time, supports a larger biomass of zooplankton due to their rapid turnover. The pyramid of energy is always upright, because energy decreases at every step. This pyramid clearly shows that energy is lost as it moves up the food chain, mostly in the form of heat, respiration, and excretion. No energy pyramid is ever inverted, because energy cannot be created or recycled in the same way as nutrients. Speaking of nutrients, another essential function of the ecosystem is the recycling of nutrients. Unlike energy, which flows in one direction, nutrients cycle between organisms and their environment. Key nutrients like carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, and water are recycled through processes like the carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, and water cycle. These cycles ensure that essential elements are available to support life continuously. Every ecosystem operates through these interconnected systems of energy flow and nutrient cycling. But ecosystems are not always stable. They are dynamic, constantly changing due to natural or human-induced disturbances. When an ecosystem is damaged, it undergoes a process of recovery called ecological succession. In this process, a barren area is gradually colonized by living organisms, leading to the development of a mature and stable ecosystem over time. This could happen in a new volcanic island or a dried-up lakebed. Primary succession begins in lifeless areas with no soil, while secondary succession occurs in areas where life once existed but was disrupted, like after a forest fire or flood. For NEET and JEE aspirants, this chapter offers key concepts that are not only frequently asked in exams but also form the base for higher studies in biology and environmental science. A strong understanding of components, energy flow, and ecological pyramids will give you an edge in both theory questions and analytical reasoning. Remember, an ecosystem is not just a concept in a textbook, it is the living world around you. From the garden near your home to the oceans and forests across the globe, every ecosystem teaches us the importance of balance, interdependence, and sustainability. Thank you so much for being a part of the Ask Prep community. We truly appreciate your time and dedication to learning, especially when it comes to mastering biology, a subject that's not only essential for exams like NEET and JEE. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends who are also preparing, and make sure to subscribe to our channel so you never miss an update.